be with us this evening. As dark as I am, Manny found a way for me to blush. So it went right through that skin tone. I have to first recognize my wife and my daughter, the two greatest things that ever happened to me. So, right now I blinked at my daughter just to make sure she knew I knew she was in the room, and she blinked back. That was her first. I was very excited. Of course, I have my mother-in-law, father-in-law, and brother-in-law. Here I have my mom and dad. You heard from my dad earlier. Dad, many Lucio family members, and my grandma, who still makes the best meals in town. Any restaurant owners, it's no offense, but that's my grandma. But there are so many elected officials in the room. Thank you all. If I could just have you stand and raise your hand, elected officials, or those that serve on the RMA, or those that serve on county commission, or city commission, or judges, please, if you could just stand and be recognized. And I want to thank you for your commitment. It's been a great 5 years, really 6 years. In 2005, we announced our first campaign, and it was at EICC, and we had a very small group there. They were pretty much all family members, and I was excited, and I remember the energy our campaign had. And we ran on being that new kid on the block with fresh ideas and thoughts about going to Austin and being part of a young contingency that would bring all these great new ideas to Austin. And we did that, and I hope that our record has shown that. But I'm no longer that new kid on the block. I am now, have a few more gray hairs. I'm married, I have a baby, and now with the birth of that child, I get it. I understand. I always loved children, and I cared about the future of my community deeply, given that I grew up here. And I was invested in coming back here. But now that I have a child, I appreciate it on a different level. And it has changed the way I approach the last 2 sessions. It's changed the way I plan on approaching my life and continue to work on education. I feel that as an office, and I have my staff, and I'll recognize them at the end, we've done a fantastic job of representing your interests. And I say that not to elevate myself, but just to inform you that it does take a tremendous amount of effort, and it does take a fantastic staff, and I have one of the best in all of Austin. And I will recognize them individually at the end. But what are the things that we need to continue to work on? We've laid that foundation, like my father said, for the medical school. It's extremely important we go back. Not only will that change healthcare in South Texas for not only the foreseeable future, but forever, but it will also change in terms of how we look at our economy and how the economic investment will be and grow us to a whole different level. We project, unfortunately, given the budget cuts, maybe a 6 to 8 year time frame to have a freestanding medical school in South Texas. Wouldn't that be amazing? Statistics show that a large percentage of doctors, where they do their residency, where they get their medical education, they will stay within a 100-mile radius. We have one of the worst doctor-to-patient ratios in all of the United States. We need to continue to fight so that as we age, as we have more children, as we need our health care provided for, we have those doctors right here in South Texas.